Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. I have something to show you, something that came in the mail. If you haven't seen my first video in this potential series, this is a subscription magazine that is, I'm very sorry to say to all of my friends around the world who do not live in the United Kingdom, only available in the United Kingdom. But if you do live in the United Kingdom, I highly recommend this. This is called Untitled Tarot. And what happens is, once a month, they send out 2 issues of a magazine and a tarot deck. And this is wonderful. I did a video of the first 3 issues, which came out together. And so this is issue 4 and 5. And what I'll do is I'll turn the camera down and we'll look at the magazines briefly and look at the deck that came with it briefly. And let's explore it together. Let's take a look. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I think I've got us all set up. So this again is parts 4 and 5 of the Untitled Tarot tarot subscription magazine and subscription for decks. And the deck that I got with the first 3, I'm not going to go through all of the decks each time I do a video, but just in case you haven't seen the first video I did, there was this deck, which is called the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. But if you look inside of this box, you'll see that it's a little bit different from a standard Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot deck. This is actually more in lines of the blushing, not the blushing fool, what am I saying? The Dirty Pam, yeah? What many of us called the Dirty Pam. And this is a gorgeous deck. It's a beautiful deck. And frankly, it was this deck that made me really, really want to begin the subscription. Not only because of this, but this was like the deciding factor. When I saw that this was coming with the subscription, I was, yes, I gotta have that. So the first deck that we got, the first full deck that we got was what we would call the Dirty Pam. And it's a beautiful, beautiful deck, beautiful coloration of Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork. Lovely. And the backs look like this. And this backing is much better than a standard Radiant Wise Spirit tarot deck, if you ask me. I love the backs and I love the fronts even more. So this is what we got. And we're also getting piecemeal this deck. It came with a nice little bag. It's not a high-end bag, but it's a lovely bag made of nice material. And inside of this is the Art Nouveau Tarot, the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, which is larger than the standard edition. This is just a bit larger. And what we got with the first 3 issues was the major arcana, and you can see all of the bling in this deck. It's a lovely deck. I'm not usually a bling fanatic. I don't go for bling all that much in my cards, but this is a lovely deck, and I'm really, really happy to see that, to have this. Look at that hanged man. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Love him. Look at that death card. Have you seen such a more beautiful death card? Well, I'm sure there are more beautiful death cards out there, but still, love this one. So we got the major arcana, and we got the first 2 aces. Yeah, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. And so the rest of this deck will come out 1 card per issue for, I assume, the next 20 or the next, the next 50 issues, which would be the next 25 months, because 2 issues come out per month. So this month we have this. And let me cut these open so that you can see the goodies that we get inside. Next 2 issues, I'm told there will be a new journal, I think, that comes with it. Well, let me show you what's in these. So we got 4 and 5, and I'll show them to you separately. Opening up 5 right now. And here we go. Here we go. So, again, let's start with 4. I'll pull out the magazine first. So this is the magazine. These are lovely little magazines, especially if you're a beginner to tarot. They give a lot of good, simple, easy to understand, separated into bite-sized chunks information. So this is a wonderful series for the beginner, I believe. And you'll see that in this issue we're getting the Thelema Tarot, which is something I do not have in my collection as of yet, but now I do. So in each issue we'll have articles, reading the tarot techniques, tarot spreads, and this issue's gift, they'll have information about that, arcana reference, cards in detail. This time we're exploring the Empress, so there are 3 pages just on the Empress card. Tarot deck library. Take a card-by-card look at the meaning of the major and minor arcana in the Thelema Tarot. So they give you information about the deck that you receive. And then there's a glossary of terms in the back. So for this issue's glossary, we're doing G's and H's and I's. So really, this is a great educational series. Yes, the Thelema Tarot deck, visual reference of the Thelema Tarot. This is what we get in this issue. Here we have the major arcana. Here we have greater wisdom, tarot spreads. So this series really is wonderful. I'm so happy with this. And this is what will come out next month. So next month we are getting the Harmonious Tarot, which actually I do have this one. And I'm going to be using this one for my weekly readings, starting with the new moon. So stay tuned for that. So that was issue 4. And let me show you issue 5 briefly. So here we go, issue 5. What do we have in this issue? We have more reading the tarot, choosing a deck. That's good information to have. Tarot techniques, keeping a tarot diary. Also, we got 2 pages on just how to keep a diary, what to do with a diary. More spreads, the Celtic Cross, one of my favorites. Arcana reference. We get to know the Emperor card in this issue. The World of Tarot, Arthur Edward Waite. So there's an article here about Arthur Edward Waite, a 2-page article. But you see that the articles are not dense. I mean, you get good information. Let's go to the Arthur Edward Waite. So you get good information, but it's basically a magazine article, right? It's not like you're picking up a tome of dense information. It gives you a nice overview. And then if we are interested, we can go find another book with detailed information. But for a magazine, I think these are just wonderful. And they're co-produced by Byline and Lo Scarabeo. So here we have 4 and 5. What came with 4 and 5? Well, first we have the next 2 aces for the Golden Tarot. We've got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So we've got the aces now for the Golden Art Nouveau. And aren't those gorgeous? Those are gorgeous, are they not? Let me zoom the camera in just a little bit so that we can see these cards better. And you can see the other deck that we'll be looking at in just a moment. So I'll do a flip through of the Thelema Tarot because I've never seen that one. So the aces, gorgeous, right? Okay, I'll put them in my box with my other cards for the Golden Art Nouveau right now so they don't get lost. Okay, and now we have the Thelema Tarot. And they send you a tuck box with each deck. And these are very easy to open. Now, what do? Let me show you. Let me show you by doing this. You squeeze that, and there you go. We have a tuck box. Very easy, yes? So, now that we've got the tuck box sorted away, let us look at the deck. The deck comes in two pieces, which is not optimal, but considering what we're doing here, the price of the entire series, which is a very good price, this is not something to complain about at all. Yeah. These open like old, I'm going to tell you, I used to be a smoker. So these, to me, these open like old cigarette packages, right? The deck is split in half again. So that starts with the Four of Pentacles. And where is the opening to this one? It should be right there. There it is. Okay, so we got the other side nicely open. Okay, so the Thelema Tarot. And as far as, well, okay, now what can be a problem with decks sent in half? Oftentimes there will be a split. Now you can't see it so much in this, but you do notice a gap here, right? But after use, after shuffling, that gap will disappear because this is very decent cardstock, if you ask me. I'm very pleased with the cardstock that they have used so far. Size of the deck, if you're curious, I will whip out my handy dandy Rider-Waite Smith deck, and it's just a little bit shy of a standard US Games Rider-Waite Smith tarot card. It's just a little bit more narrow, but Los Scarabeo decks tend to be a little bit on the smaller side from what I recall. And this is what the back of the deck looks like. The backs look like this. Very nice. Universe with a beautiful symbol on it. Lovely, lovely, lovely image. And we start with the Fool. Now, I would normally do a side-by-side, but I don't think y'all need a side-by-side, do you? I don't think so. What am I doing? Now, these green borders are interesting. I don't think I have a deck with green borders yet. But I love this card. I love the first image. It looks a little bit manipulated photograph to me. It looks like a collage deck of sorts. But I'm not sure. I don't know that. Just saying what it looks like. We notice the... are they planet symbols or are they zodiacs? They're zodiac symbols, yes. Do you notice the zodiac symbols around the central figure who's walking off into the universe out of what looks like a cathedral door to me, but not necessarily. Doesn't have to be a cathedral door. We do see the white rose in their hand. We see the feather in the cap. Love the moon up there in the sky. Here we have the magician. Okay, very magician-y, although we don't see... Okay, we don't see a table. We don't have the hands in the as above, so below position. We don't see the flowers around this magician. But we do see the tools. We see the energy flowing around. This is definitely an adept magician, not a newbie. And then we have the high priestess. Beautiful. We've got the two pillars. We've got symbols on each of the pillars. Now, let's see. We don't get a guidebook with this deck. However, let me see what the magazine says about the Thelema Tarot. Let's see. Thelema Tarot and Celtic Cross. Cups, Wands. Okay, just a moment. I'm trying to find information about the deck, the Thelema Tarot deck. Okay, so the major arcana, what do we have here? My knowledge comes from within. Still your mind, listen for wisdom. So we don't get much of a description of the card in this series. Let's see, looking a little bit more. Meanings of drawings of cards, the Fool, the Magician. So yeah, we don't get deep descriptions of what we're looking at when we see the cards in this series. And actually the normal deck might not have that either. But what do we have? We do have the moon down here at the High Priestess's feet. We get the sense of water being down there. I mean, it could be marble, but it looks like water to me. So we get that water feel. We also have the veil behind the High Priestess. We get the High Priestess holding what looks like a pomegranate, does it not? And we do see the seal. I mean, sorry, not the seal. The scroll in their hand. So we've got a lot of the symbolism that we would normally see in a Rider-Waite-Smith deck. There are some things that you might say are missing, but may not be necessary all of the time. The Empress, we got the shield with the bird on it. We've got the orb and the scepter of power. We've got the crown with the stars. Yeah, we've got a beautiful, fertile-looking landscape behind. This looks like it's mostly a nighttime deck, at least for the major arcana, right? The Emperor, we've got the shield here on the other side. We've got rams on the chair, on his throne, I should say. Scepter, orb of power. Looking drier, more structured than the High Priestess. We get all of that in this deck as well. The Hierophant, we don't have any supplicants, but we do have the three-tiered cross. We've got a book, and we've got the hand in the blessing gesture. Yeah, we've got pillars indicated on the sides. A much younger looking Hierophant than normal, at least to me. We've got the lovers, we got the angel above, we got the two lovers in the water. We don't have trees on the sides, but look at that dolphin. Those are interesting. These look like a dolphin couple to me. An interesting choice. Beautiful card. These are beautiful cards. Here we have the Chariot. The Chariot, a lovely card. We've got the two horses. This Chariot really looks like it's in motion. We don't get the canopy in behind, but that's not so necessary, right? We do have a star here at the forehead, at the third chakra or crown chakra. Like the sword pointed in the hand, we've got the sun on the chariot itself. The wings are an interesting touch. The horses they look like they're getting along more than in some other decks, but we do get the contrast of the light horse and the dark horse and all that means. Strength, we've got a beautiful strength card here. The human and the lion look like they're in wonderful relationship. And notice the garland around the woman and gently, gracefully laying over, there's another word I was looking for, but laying over the lion. There's a kind of fairy energy to this figure to me. Maybe it's because of the cloth here, which could be netting, it could be chiffon, but it kind of reminds me of wings a little bit, just a little bit. Anywho, here we have the hermit with the lantern in the dark. We don't get the mountains behind. Now this hermit, rather than being on the top of a mountain, looks like this figure is in the woods or in a cave, perhaps even. It's hard to tell if this is stone or if this is tree. Could be either, if you ask me. I rhymed. Did you see? Here we go with the Wheel of Fortune. Love this Wheel of Fortune with the zodiac symbols around the wheel. We got the Sphinx on top. We don't get any figures going up or down, but we get the idea of the cycles. We also see seasons. Do you see seasons in the colors in the background of the wheel? And here we go with Justice. Beautiful card. Yeah, we've got the feather and the heart in balance. We've got the sword is pointing down here, which is a little bit reminiscent of the sword in Thoth Tarot. But this is not a Thoth Tarot, and you'll notice that justice is in 11 and strength was at 8. So another thing, but just slightly reminiscent of a Thoth Tarot. It's not justice, it's adjustment in the Thoth. But notice the sun, the golden sun here on the sword. An interesting touch. Here we have the Hanged Man. I was just saying I love this card. I love this card. Look at that Hanged Man. I love the snake. Instead of being a rope, we've got a snake here holding the Hanged Man up to the tree. We see the light around their heads. Gorgeous. And look at the color of the water and the sky. Oh, so beautiful. Such a beautiful card. The death. Look at that death card. Yeah, we got a horse. Instead of riding the horse is there accompanying the death figure with a bird up in the air. And we see a crown here. We see what looks like, I don't know what that is. Is that the scythe? Maybe it doesn't look like a scythe to me. Hard to tell for me, but we see the bones. Can you see the bones in the camera? Yeah, you can see the bones, right? We got bones here at the feet of the death figure. Love this, the radiance here in the sky. And the way that the light comes down and strikes the back of the death figure and also the back of the beautiful, beautiful horse. And temperance. We got the wings. We got the sun in the forehead. We got the water mysteriously flowing from one cup to the other. Notice the different colors of cloth on the angel's wrists. Yeah, pointing to perhaps an alchemical marriage, maybe. Yeah. In the alchemy as shown in the Thoth deck, instead of being like black and white or red and blue, it's red and white, right? And so we got that here as well. Notice these stars. It looks like a galaxy here in front of her, doesn't it? In front of the angel. Love the mountain in the background, the clouds, all of this. 1 foot in the water, assuming that 1 foot there that we don't see is on land. Look at that devil. That is a gorgeous devil. We do get the two figures, but instead of being tied down at the bottom, they're up here in the sky. We do get a reversed pentagram. Yeah. And what is this on this devil's chest? What does that look like? What does that look like to you? It's hard for me to see. I can't tell what that is. I just noticed something. So, you notice that the devil is holding these netting, right? There are strands coming through the figure's hands, and those strands go up, and these figures are caught in the web. I get it now. And we see the fire, or at least energy, coming up from below, but there's also a lot of energy right here around the second and third chakras, which is a good place to put energy in the devil card. And the tower, look at that tower. Do you see people falling out of this tower? We usually have figures flying out off to the sides, but I don't see people here. We do see the crown top being blasted off by the lightning. Look, very realistic looking lightning, isn't it? I'm thinking right now of what decks might pair with this. There's another deck, a very black deck, that I'm thinking might work well with this if I do use this in a pairing, and it's this one, if you're curious. The Arcana Tarot. The Arcana Tarot, I think, might pair interestingly with this one. If you've ever seen that tarot, well, I'll show you that a little bit later. Let's keep going with this. So here we have the star. Look at that. Look at those. The water, the cups pouring. Instead of water, it looks like they're pouring stars into perhaps the universe, or maybe the water. Star up there, very hopeful looking card. Love the star, the arch of stars here. Like, connect this cup to this cup in a way, and go in front of the figure. So much to see in these cards. And I'm usually not such a fan of photographic decks or collage decks, but this one I'm kind of getting into. I like this. The moon, I love this figure here. And look, do you see a kind of crustacean down? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you see the crustacean down there in the water? That's so interesting. I like the way that they've handled that. We don't have the dogs. That is true. And we do have towers here. We do have that. Do you see the face in the moon? Can you see the face there in the camera? This is one time where I think the camera might not be able to see it as clearly as I can see it in person. There is a face here. There's a nose here. There are lips here. There's an eye here. Beautiful moon card. And the birds, of course, flying. And the sun, look at that. So instead of a child on a horse, we get a rose for the sun, which is an interesting choice. We get the zodiac around the rose. We get two children. They look like children to me. Perhaps one male, one female. And we have butterflies there around them. Very pastoral scene. But it's the rose for the sun is a really interesting choice. I'm not really sure what to do with that right now, but it's a beautiful choice. I really wish there were a guidebook that described the symbols in this particular deck. And I'll probably do a search somewhere and find them. Judgment, look at that. We don't see people rising up, but we do see the angel. We see the trumpet. Not really sure what this is in the angel's hand. I love this, holding the stars up here. Beautiful card. And the world. Look at that world. Gorgeous. We see the horns of the bull. We see the mouth of the lion. We see the claw of the eagle. And we see the wing of the angel. Okay, so we do get the four fixed signs, the four evangelists, the four cherubim. It's all there. And I love how the world figure is creating ripples as they touch. Yeah, there are ripples going throughout the universe from each of their hands and from their feet and from behind their figures. This energy just boom out. So beautiful. And now we go with the minor arcana. Let's see how this goes. So, minor arcana, Ace of Cups, beautiful card. We got the bird, lovely. Two of Cups, okay, so we got that. Okay, look at that. Remember I mentioned the dolphins in the Lovers card. Yeah, the Lovers card, there was the two dolphins in the distance. Where are you, Lovers? The Chariot, Lovers, there we are. So the Lovers card, yeah, those two dolphins. Here we are, two dolphins in the Two of Cups, the love card. I love that one is gold and one is silver. I love the Venus symbol here. Oh, so beautiful. So much to see in these cards. The Three of Cups, we don't have three figures, which is a little bit sad. I like to see three figures, but we do see that each one of these cups holds a little bit different material. Now we have red and green grapes here. We have red and purple grapes here. It looks like we have red and maybe golden grapes here. So we do get that idea of three different things coming together. Here we have the Four of Cups. Yeah? The one not being noticed. Looks like she's sitting in a lily, which is interesting. The Five of Cups. Very sad, very, very sad. We got three overturned. We got two upright behind that she's not really paying attention to. The Six of Cups. I don't get so much nostalgia from this one, but we do see somebody perhaps remembering the past. I can see remembering the past in here. This figure looks like they're thinking of things that have happened in the past. I can get that. Okay, Seven of Cups. Okay, we got the different stuff in each one of the cups. That's wonderful. The snake. We've got a dove. We've got looks like a winged dragon there. Maybe a castle. The ghost figure. Maybe this is the laurel. Maybe this is what the jewels would be. Beautiful. And this young figure just looking, not looking so stressed out, just looking, appraising what's out there for them, which is the way I usually read the Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups, moving on, right? We're leaving these cups behind and going my own way. We do get the castle there in the background. The Nine of Cups, satisfaction for those of us who who are tired of seeing the fat dude in front of the row of cups behind them. We got a very different image. Very different image. But this figure does look very satisfied with what's here. And we do see differences of what each cup contains, again, in this one. Yeah? Golden apples here. I'll have to spend more time and really carefully look at what is in each one of these cups. But I like that. I like that carrying over from the 7 to the 9, where this one is imagining or appraising what's out there, and this one is being satisfied with the diversity of blessings that are around them. And here we go with the 10. Love the idea of swans as a family in the 10 of Cups. There are other decks who have used swans in this one, in this figure, or in this card. Love the castle in the background. You can see kind of a rainbow above them. Page of Cups, lovely page. We got a fish coming out of the cup, and we get water at their feet, which I like. Yeah? Do you see water here below, even though they're standing on a stone structure? It looks like there's water there. And the next one is the Knight of Cups, moving off into the future, perhaps. Beautiful cup, beautiful horse. Lovely. The Queen of Cups, look at that. I see water here at the feet of the knight as well, and water here at the feet of the queen. This fishtail up there on the side. The King of Cups, look at that regal figure. The water, the bright glowing water splashing, coming up out of the cup. And again, they're all in, except for the knight, the court figures are all in basically the same setting. And I get the sense of there being water here at their feet as well. Notice, okay, do you see this? These, I don't know. It looks like there could be something here that is between them, the two of them. An architectural thing. At least there's an echo. There's a mirror between these two, which is an interesting thing. So here we go with the pentacles. Love the pentacles. We got the garden gate. We got the pentacle rising above. Look at that baby fawn. Look at that fawn not down there. Okay, the Two of Pentacles. Interesting, a unicycle, juggler, juggling two things or holding two things. We got a ship in the background. A lot of the symbols that we want in these cards are basically there in a very different form or a different layout or with extra emphasis, or it's a very interesting deck. And I love the idea of a unicycle in the Two of Pentacles. Here we have the Three, and we notice instead of there being three different figures working inside of a church, we have one figure but doing the craft, right? We do get the Three Pentacles up there. This figure is painting on the wall, or perhaps on the window. Kind of looks like a window to me. Does it look like a window to you? Here we have the Four of Pentacles. Lovely. We get less greed and more frugality, saving my stuff. Yeah? It's not, she isn't grabbing onto her stuff. She's just putting it away somewhere safe. We got a key here, which is cool. And I love the castle in the background. The Five of Pentacles. Okay, so it looks like a person looking for alms, asking for alms in front of a church. Maybe even inside of a church. That's interesting. It kind of looks like this figure is inside of a church asking for alms. So maybe they've found shelter, but they still need a little bit more. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, so we do get the idea of the wealthy hand sharing their wealth to those below, which is a common way to look at the Six of Pentacles. It's not my favorite way, but it's very clear here. Who is giving and who is receiving looks very clear in this one. I like it more where it's not really clear who is the giver, who is the receiver. Oh, look at that Seven of Pentacles. I love that this figure has a flower in their hands as they look at the pentacles growing on their tree. Are they ready to harvest? Are they not ready to harvest? Do I need to wait more? Do I need to prune? All of those thoughts could be going through this figure's mind. The Eight of Pentacles. Love this card. So we have six of the pentacles here already finished. We've got one there at their feet, and we've got one being worked on right now. Love that. Mastery of the craft. Doing the repetitive practice of our art. I love that. The Nine of Pentacles. We got the woman outside with the bird. We got the pentacles up there as an arch. Luxurious. Enjoying what there is. Enjoying the abundance of what we have. And the Ten of Pentacles. Look at that. We get it in the... Okay, we don't get the people, except for all of the people on the planet, which actually is better than one old guy and a couple of middle-aged people and then a child and dogs being one specific, very specific family. We have the whole family of the human race. And we have the pentacles in the shape of the tree of life. Love this image. Page of Pentacles. Not quite sure what to do with this thing, but I got it. And we've got green here on the ground, and the stones flooring is green, reminiscent of the vitality, the life, the greenness of Pentacles for me. The Knight of Pentacles, outside on the ride of their own, but a very green ride. The Queen of Pentacles. We don't get the rabbit. I don't see a rabbit. We don't get the chair with all the grapes and stuff, but we've got a very vibrant, lush, green card here. Green dress, green floor. Love her crown. And the King of Pentacles. Here we do have a treasure chest. We have the culmination of wealth here. We have assets available for use. And green, we got the flowers here behind. Okay, moving on to the Ace of Wands. Fiery card. This is going to be red-orange, right? There's no one offering this wand. Love the crystal up here at the top. Two of Wands. Instead of a male figure, we have a female figure here on the ramparts looking out. Where am I going to go? Where should I go? What's the next thing? Love the bird in the air. Three of Wands. Here we have a figure looking out over the ocean with the ship either coming in or going out. But a fiery energy to the sky. Four. We've got the four posts outside with the laurels joining them up. We've got two doves. Very wedding-ish, if you want to read wedding into this, but a celebration right outside of the town. Love the fire here below. Love that there's a ring here as well. Lovely. Five of Wands. Usually a competitive card. I don't see much competition here. So I'm not really sure what to look at in this particular card, to be honest. I get the fire. I get that there are five of them. But I don't see as much of the original. Okay. I don't see as much of the Pamela Coleman Smith arrangement and symbolism in this particular card. I have in all of the others to this point, but this one has gotten me needing to think a little bit more. Six. Okay, Six of Wands, usually the triumphal march, but we got the banner, we got the shield of the army returning, the victor returning. I can get that from here. The Seven of Wands. Okay, so we do have the figure above with six below. We don't see any figures holding these wands, They weren't in Pamela Coleman Smith's art as either. I love that she's got a wall behind her, an open door, not a closed door, but an open door. Yeah, this figure is out. I can fend off what needs to be fended off, but I'm not vulnerable. I've got structure behind me. I am secure. I'm okay. And I can face off with whatever is coming towards me. The Eight of Wands. Okay, we got the 8 wands flying through the air. Very typical. Love the birds in this card. The 9 of Wands. Okay, so usually this figure in Pamela Coleman Smith's art particularly is a little bit beat up, but this figure is not beaten up, but they do look like they are a little bit tired at least. Now we got a wall of wands behind them, as well as a wall of building behind them. It could be defense. Certainly, I can read that in this one. The 10 of Wands. Okay, we got the figure carrying 10 wands, looking a little bit burdened, right? Not horribly burdened. This figure actually looks like they've stopped to investigate something rather than it being really hard carrying these 10 wands on their backs. Interesting. Okay, Page of Wands. Fiery. Look at the salamander at their feet. Now we got a fire right there at their feet. Love that. The Knight of Wands, out in an environment of more fire. Now the fire bursting at the feet of the gorgeous horse. We got fire in the wand with the crystal. Queen of Wands. Love, we got the sunflower here. There's no cat. I don't see a cat here. But we do have fire at the feet. We got love, the red hair. Red dress. The king also, red garments. We got a salamander down here. A lot of fire. And our last suit, the Ace of Swords, the air. Now this is going to be, I suppose, a grayish suit. Got the laurel crown here. 2 of Swords, yeah, blindfolded. 2 swords in balance above, in front of somewhat turbulent seas. Not horribly turbulent, but there are waves in the background. And the 3 of Swords. Oh, love that it's not instead of a heart, we've got a rose losing its petals. I like that change. And we got the figure here in the rain, definitely having gone through some stuff and now needing, in the process of, what do I want to say? In the process of processing it, mentally processing it, because the swords, they're a suit of communication and thought and vision. So she's not really looking all that much, but perhaps mentally processing what she's been through. And the 4, definitely a meditative card, right? We got the 3 swords above and 1 below, which is common. Love this figure. Love that instead of being a tomb, this is just a figure meditating in a very nice, cool space inside of a holy, sacred building. The 5 of Swords. Okay, so we've got this one figure with the 5 swords, the 2 extra, or the 2 not yet picked up. We don't see people walking off in defeat, which is cool. I like that. This is perhaps just a slightly less aggressive card because of that. And we have the 6 of Swords. We got the figure in the boat going off into, it looks like the sunset perhaps. I don't get much of the turbulent and calm seas, that differentiation here, but I can see what I want to see. I can know that this person is going off to calmer waters. The 7 of Swords. Look at that. Definitely looks like this person is trying to get away with something, if that's what you want to read into this card. Yeah. It's not an exterior, rather it's an interior scene, certainly. But we do have the 2 swords here on the ground, hasn't picked them up yet or is leaving them behind. The 8 of Swords, yeah? Blindfolded, not completely bound. This figure is has a much easier time of getting up and walking away if they want to. They don't look particularly bound. And there's a definite open space here for them to walk through if they choose to. If they choose to remove their blindfold, to remove those and get away from those thoughts that have kept them there. The Nine of Swords, love this. Definite asleep on the couch, looks like a nightmare card to me. We got the Nine Swords there above. Very easy to read card. The Ten of Swords. Okay, so this figure is not completely dead. Yeah? Knocked down, certainly. Those swords are pointing down, and if she stands up, she's going to be poked by them. But it's not a bloody mess. Yeah, some decks, the figure in the Ten of Swords is bleeding blood all over the place. This figure is not. But they've been knocked down. Yeah. Okay, Page of Swords. Love this. Love the clouds here on the ground. Love the birds in the air. Love the gray clothes. Knight of Swords riding through the mist. Yes. More birds. Love look at the plumage in the helmet. Love that. Love the steel gray on the horse. Queen of Swords, one of my favorite cards. Love her. I can just see her feeling the cool, damp, misty breeze on her face as she stands there. Feeling refreshed, able to see distances. And finally, the King of Swords, a very young-looking king. But it's good that the king and queen match each other. Love the falcon on the hand. Oh, so beautiful. This deck is so beautiful in a way that is unusual for me. I don't usually like, again, decks like this. But now, what was I saying? I was saying that I have an idea what I could pair this with. So let me do this. I'm going to shuffle this and just show you how well this shuffles. I'll do a quick hand over hand, an overhand shuffle. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. So I pick up this one, then I pick up this one, and then I pick up this one, and then let's do an overhand. This cardstock is semi-gloss. It overhands beautifully. There's just enough stick to it that it will not go flying off into the stratosphere when I overhand, which is nice. I'm not the best overhand shuffler. But see, I can do that. I can do that. Now I've shuffled a little bit, and you can still see where the deck has been split. This different bow is still there, but that'll relax, I'm sure. Let's see. The riffle shuffle is where it is going to be. Look at that. Oh, and bridge. Oh, it riffle shuffles and bridges beautifully. Look at that. Oh, except I didn't do such a good job because of my angle. There we go. Look at that. Okay, my angle of shuffle because of this stuff is not so great. Okay, so put this one here, and this one has not been shuffled. So this one is still in order, but this is the Arcana Tarot. And, oh, look, they're similar size. And look, the backs kind of match too. But look at this. Oh, I'm sorry. So Judgment and the King of Wands. Now the artwork is very different, right? The artwork is very, very different. But still, I can see how these can work nicely together. There is that manipulated photographic art to both of these. And let's see, here we go with Justice and the Queen of Wands. They are different, but I think that these two will read very, very nicely together. Let me pull out another random one from here. So, the Hanged Man, and let's do this one, the Ten of Cups. So again, not the same, but I think they will read together very nicely. Does that make sense to you? So again, this deck is called the Arcana Tarot. Yeah, the Arcana Tarot if you're curious about it. I think it's still available. So friends, what do you think? Isn't this a really cool idea for a subscription? I really hope that this subscription goes out into the world and is available in places like Canada, the United States, Korea, South Africa, wherever we are in the world. I hope this becomes available to places more than just the United Kingdom. So, friends, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to subscribe? Have you subscribed? What do you think of this deck in particular? If you haven't subscribed, are you interested in getting this deck, in getting the Thelema Tarot? Also, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and press the bell so that you get notifications of when I upload videos. I usually do 2 at least a week, and then I'll do a random every so often walkthrough kind of video. I don't do too many walkthroughs. Also, share this around if you know somebody who might be interested in this deck, in this subscription. Share it with other people, and share it on other platforms. And hit the like button if this has been interesting for you. It helps the channel. So friends, comment below. I would love to hear from you. And now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.